Good morning, people in the south. How are you guys doing? My people in the east, good day. My friends in the west, good afternoon. And my dudes in the north, good evening. I hope everyone is good and back again today. So when when they say count your blessings, they say count your blessings, and sometimes they would say it's important to sometimes retrospect at times and look back at your hard work and start counting your blessings. They mean exactly that. Sometimes just sit back and reflect, retrospect and reflect and start counting your blessings. Thank yourself for the hard work that you've been putting in all these times or all these years. And that will work out some oomph and energy, new energy in you, to start working on new ventures. And it will give you some new perspective on your the way you look at things as an entrepreneur, going forward. Sometimes you get discouraged by many other things along the way, and you just need to sit down and count your blessings. So today's episode, I'm just gonna sit. You see how I'm seated? I've kicked my feet up on the couch. I'm seated like this, 90 degrees. My feet are kicked on the couch, and here's my back. I just wanna count my blessings. From when I started with the entire struggle, when I was a young boy. I just want to see how much work I've been putting in and doing. Be it in career, where I worked in Eskom, where I did business as well, at where I worked in Anglo American. I just want to reflect and where I'm working now in my own entity, which is Adam Vigo. Adam Vigo is the current business where I'm working now, and I would like to just sit back, kick my feet up, and reflect on my journey from when I was young, very young. So I'm reflecting today. I'm reflecting basically from when I was very young. I want to see how far I've come. So I'm going to take you through my successes. These might encourage someone somewhere, might discourage someone somewhere, might be useless to someone, but I'm documenting here. I'm not playing games. My forefathers never documented anything. That's why today we don't know them. We don't even know what they have done. What if the land that we sitting on right now, it was their own land? We don't know because they never documented anything. So I'm documenting, whether you like it or not. You can pass if it's not your cup of coffee, but I'm documenting for my kids, my grandkids, my greatest kids. They'll be able to see this and see what their grandfather used to do. So I'm gonna take you through my successes from when I was a boy until now. I'm just gonna touch here and there and try and elaborate on each, because I don't forget things. So I'll remember everything that I'll recall from top of my head. So when I was 9 years old, I was doing acting. I was doing acting. I was an actor when I was 9 years. So I was acting in a school sort of drama. So I was an actor there. So I was acting as a mathematics teacher, and then I was teaching the kids mathematics. Little did I know that later in my life, I'm gonna teach students mathematics in tertiary. And I did teach mathematics because I got distinctions in mathematics. So I was teaching a lot of students because they knew that I'm good in maths. And my lecturer once caught me red-handed teaching them maths, and he gave me his blessings, to continue teaching the students. And most of those students don't even know that I used to act as a teacher when I was 9 years old. That's one of the things that I've memorized and kept as one of the things that will always remain memorable and highly recognizable in my life. I used to act as a teacher when I was 9. And when I was 11, I started, these are all my successes, the things that I've done successfully. When I was 11, I started my farming business. When I was 11 years old, started my farming business. I was planting. I started to fall in love with farming, so I was planting a lot of fruit trees, mangoes, and I planted a lot of them at home. And I also started to explore the livestock farming, and that's when I started to own a few livestock here and there. I was 11 years old. And that's one moment that will always remain in me, because even today, I still do what I used to do when I was 11. I still do what I used to, I still do what I fell in love with when I was 11. Even today. That means it's in me, it has grown in me, and it stays in me, And my next success, when I was 16 years old, I built my grandmother a small house, like it was a kitchen. So my grandmother was cooking in the backyard, like at the back of the house. And when it's windy or rainy, she could have she used to have issues and challenges, and then she used to complain about how it's difficult for her to do her cooking activities, and she would complain about us being useless grandkids who doesn't want to help her with a shelter or something. And then one day I woke up, I started taking measurements, and then when she asked what was I doing, then I told her I'm building you a kitchen. And then I started making bricks. I made bricks from water and mud, and then when the bricks got dry, I would take those bricks and start building. And then the kitchen was at some point completed and was used, like, for the longest time. Even today, it was still there. I think at about 2 years ago, I took a picture of that house, that little house that I built. It's a complete kitchen with 2 windows, one door, 2 windows, and she had her coal stove in there. She had her utensils cabinets and all that, tables, eating tables and everything. It was a complete kitchen. I did that when I was 16. And the next one, when I was 19, I was in high school. I built an automated pet feeder. I think I spoke about this in one of the episodes somewhere. I don't remember if it's episode 3, when I spoke about how I got bitten by an innovation bug in high school. I was 19 years old, and I built an automated pet feeder. This pet feeder, I used recycled material to build it was more like a plant. I think I explained that on episode 3. If you want to know more about it, go to episode 3 of this channel, and then you'll see or you'll get the information of what I built. Last time I left my high school, it was there in the laboratory. I don't know what happened to it. If it's still there, someone will tag me, someone say your thing is still here. I don't know. I've never been to that laboratory again, so I'm not sure if it's still there or not. So I built that thing, and I used to compete in science fair and innovation competitions in high school. Exactly what I'm still doing today. So everything that my entity is doing today is things that I used to do when I was in high school. Again, I think when I was 19, When I was 19, I bought a pig. Around the same time, I bought a piglet for 10 rands, and I started a pig farming, which at some point ended up with about 95 pigs, almost 100 pigs. So I was 19 and I started the pig farming business. We chowed a lot of pork because we never ran out of meat at home. Every weekend we could slaughter one, sell, So I did that when I was 19, and this is part of my farming, my passion in farming, and it's still there, it never went away. Little did I know that this business was going to be inherited by a friend of mine. So he inherited the business, he inherited the system, and he was last time he was alive, it was about a year ago. He was still running a pig business taken from when I was 19 years old. I ran this business with him a year ago. That was the last time he was alive on earth. He still had this business, so I'm not sure if the family took over the business or they sold the business. I'm not sure. He had large pigs, he was selling meat, he was, yeah. So he took this system that I started and built and handed over to him to run, And another success that I need to highlight, at 19, I passed my grade 12, which was matric. It's the last stage of your high school education. So I passed my matric when I was 19. Remember, I failed my grade 11 3 times. Oh, I did my grade 11 3 times. I failed 2 times. I passed on the third attempt. I spoke about this somewhere. I think there's an episode where I spoke about my failures. So today I'm speaking about my successes. Go to that episode and see. I have laid out details on how and why I failed 2 times and passed on the third attempt. Just look for an episode that talks about failures. All episodes have been labeled, so I think there's one episode that says failures. The information about how I repeated grade 11 3 times is there. Go and check. When I was 19, I passed my matric first attempt. Very proud of that as well. And at the age of 20, after matric, I pursued my driver's license lessons, sort of, because again I was at the driving school teaching other learners how to drive. So I was never a learner, I was an instructor because I was good in driving. So I was never a learner at the driving school. I was an instructor. And then at the age of 20, I acquired my driver's license. 20 years old. I've been having, I think I have more than 5 driver's licenses that I've renewed somewhere. I want to frame them and put them here on the walls. All my driver's licenses that I had, from the first one to the latest one that I have. So that was when I was 20, I acquired my driver's license. And I think I've got too many successes. So my episode should run for 35 minutes. I hope I'll be able to squeeze everything in 35 minutes. 2020, I spoke about this. When I was 20, I went to tertiary, and that's when I started to tutor student mathematics. Yeah, because I was good in maths. Remember, when I was 9, I was acting as a maths teacher. So when I was 20, I started to tutor students in mathematics. I started to teach mathematics. So students used to come and gather in a specific class for me to take them through certain problems in maths. Yeah, and that was when I was 20. I was in tertiary, and then I got distinctions in maths when I was 20 as well. So I was not playing games. I could have actually went and studied actuarial sciences, at FETS. So I don't know what happened. Something happened there. Something from black people or black magic and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I did that. So 21, I got my first job at Anglo Platinum. We called it Anglo Platinum at the time. It was not Anglo American. It was Anglo Platinum. I got my first job. I was working in a survey department. They wanted someone who completed maths and science, and then they employed me and the other guy who became a friend of mine from the day of the interviews. So we met at the interviews and we became friends. When I was 21, until today, we're still friends. So it's one of the moments that I never forget. When I was 21. And when I was 22, I built a successful network marketing business. So I was a hustler. So I was doing network marketing business when I was 22. And I got a whole lot more recognition in that space. I think I spoke about this as well. I don't remember which episode, but I acquired a whole lot more. I acquired a whole lot more recognition around the age of 21, around the age of the age of 22, not 21, around the age of 22. So I acquired a whole lot more recognition. My certificates are there. That one is for highest quality presenter. So I was a presenter in that network marketing business. I got a bronze certificate. And then this Distributor of the Year award for Limpopo, I got silver certificate. I've got Distributor of the Year award. I got position 2 in Limpopo. I got Distributor of the Year award. I got position 3 in Limpopo. Got highest quality gold in Limpopo. Gold means you were the top in terms of bringing quality business, because this was in the insurance space. Yeah, those are the 5 that I've got. Oh, there's another one there next to my ornaments. What is that? Presenter of the Year award, position 7. Yeah, that one, they beat me there, because Presenter of the Year was not based on how good you speak as you present. Presenter is like you are a teacher. You stand in front of quite a number of people and you teach them how this thing works. So I got position 7. So it was not based on how good you speak, it was based on the numbers that you presented to. So I got position 7 in the province. There's another one there, Distributor of the Year, position 7. Which year was that? 2014, Distributor of the Year. So I did quite well in that space. So I started working on this business when I was 22. Yeah, 23. When I was 23, 23, I completed my studies. Electronics engineering. I completed the studies, and then I was quite happy. I also got, at the same time, concurrently, I also got qualification in the mine surveying space, because when I started working in the mine when I was 20, when I was 21, rather, I also registered for mine survey qualifications, and then I got my certificates as I could have been appointed as a junior surveyor, but I ultimately left the department, and then I went into engineering. So I didn't pursue that space anymore. But I can still go back and finish these things, finish them and go be a mine surveyor somewhere. So I've got opportunities that I can create for myself. I'm just lazy with school. When it comes to school, very, very lazy. When I was 24, I got my first car. When I was 24, I got my first car. It was a blue City Golf Chico. I pimped it, pimped my ride. And then when I was 24, I got my first car. When I was 25, I had already completed my practicals, and then I was able to get invitation to come graduate at the tertiary institution, and I declined the invitation. I didn't want to graduate. Graduations not my things. So I was good with that, with the invitation. I just declined it. Just told them, no, I'm not the guy for those things. Yeah, but I'm proud of the moment. And that was 25. So when I was 30, I bought my first luxury car. When I was 30, I bought my dream car of note. When I was young, I used to dream about this car because my uncle drove one, and I was like, "Phew, this car." The interior was nice, but it was old at the time, but it was the model of the time. And first time when I went to Johannesburg, my uncle drove me in that Audi car. I don't remember what it was called, but it was white Audi sedan. I think it was Audi 300 or something. Audi 300. The interior was nice, leather seats. I was like, Audi is the thing. Even today, I'm the Audi guy. You know, you never go wrong with that car, let alone other politics and stuff. Just the car itself, put it here and you'll see. It will talk to your spirit, that car. And when I was 31, I acquired my qualifications as when I was 31, I acquired my qualification as a facilitator and assessor. So you are looking at a qualified facilitator and assessor. So I can stand in front of people and facilitate training and assess the training as well. If there's maybe a test, or what do we call, what do you call this thing that they have to write, so I can assess. I just forgot the word for it. And my mind is trying to think of other things that I'm still going to talk about. And that was when I was 31. And then when I was 32, I won the best project that I was involved in. I was 32. The best project that I was involved in Eskom, because I was now working for Eskom. So I left Anglo Platinum Engineering. I went and joined Eskom in engineering. So I was involved in a project that I was responsible for in the Limpopo province, and I won best project for that year. That's the certificate over there, the gold certificate. See, this award, the gold one. Yeah, best project, 2014. Yeah, 3 November 2014. Yeah, 2014. Best mobile enterprise digital assistance. It's a mobile project that we have. Mobility, not mobile, rather mobility project that we held. So I was running the entire Limpopo. Then I won that award. I was 32 years old. At 33, I did something very remarkable. I never forget this moment because they called me on stage. I won 10,000 rands in front of thousands of people. We were in the dome. If you know the dome in Rambek, we were there. Is it in Rambek? Yeah, the dome is in Rambek. The dome. Is it in Rambek? Northgate. I think it's in Rambek. I won 10,000 rands in that specific business that I spoke about. That I was a presenter. I was doing this. So there was a criteria for us to meet, and then there was thousands of people who qualified to win that money. And then they conducted a draw. They called my name. Ooh, a feeling that you'll never ever buy anywhere. That was when I was 33. I had a very strong team. I had a huge team in a network marketing business, and then we work in teams in there. And then I was challenging a lot of other entrepreneurs in that space, and I won the 10,000. I never forget this moment. And then when I was 34, I won the best national customer satisfaction award. National meaning the entire Eskom customer satisfaction award. The guy who satisfied his customers internally and externally, nationally, the entire Eskom, entire South Africa. It was me. That is the award. You see that award right there? Yeah, that one. That's the award. That was in 2016. That was in 2016. Yeah, 2016. I was 34. I was still a youth. I was 34. I was doing great things, so that's why I'm proud proud of these things, and I'm able to retrospect and reflect and count my blessings, So when I was 35, I was ending my youth times around that time. I got my recognition. I still need to put up the certificate for that 10 years of service in ESCOM. I'm gonna put it somewhere there. Certificate's gonna be somewhere there. I got the certificate for 10 years of service in ESCOM. So I had spent 11 years in ESCOM. That's when I left. I left when I was 35. I ended my youth there, and then I wanted to start something new, Yeah, so I got that recognition. So 35, I retired from being an employee. I wanted to be an employer. That's when I started to work for myself, and the greatest feeling ever, the time that you have in your hands, you don't have to report to anyone. You have all the time in your hands. You have all the ideas that you want to implement. You want to work on things, and and everything, the time is just priceless, timeless and priceless, to own your own time. And the feeling was out of this world. And when I was 36, 37, that's when I was working on taking off my own entity, Adam Vego. Then I started working on it to take it off, that's where I'm still at even now. I'm still working in that space. So I thank God for taking me through and still be in this space, because a lot of them of my kind have dropped and went back to their employers, So when I was 37, I got my first government tender, because I wanted to build up and get some money so I can, 37, I got my first government tender. I remember that tender was for 167,000 rands. I was delivering some furniture in some government department. When I was 37 again, my business got its first funding. I got my first funding as well. So I got first tender, first funding, and I could see that everything this side, when I touch it, turns into gold. This is the thing that I'm made for. This is the thing that I'm being called for, And then at 37 as well, I remember my first innovative idea got shortlisted by CELSI. CELSI is a network operating company in South Africa. They shortlisted my idea, and my idea won. It was a South African innovation challenge run by CELSI for the entire South Africa. We got shortlisted because we went through the stages and everything, and then mine won. I won the competition for that year. I think it was 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. And that's when I became an employer, Yeah, I got my first employees around that time. And you will see some of these projects that I'm talking about, they will start to come into reality, or they'll start to show in the market sometime, someday, somewhere. And around the same time, the same 37 years old, I got my first contract, I won't mention where. I got my first contract, and then when I was 37, a lot of things happened, because I was building up and picking up my business. A lot of things. Got my first funding, got my first government tender, got my first contract. That's when I saw my innovation got shortlisted and won, and it won a substantial amount of money. I was 37. That's when I knew that, no, this is the thing that I was called for. And then when I was 39, that's when I was sitting on around 10 employees. I had 10 employees when I was 39. So 39 years old, sitting on 10 employees, and things were starting to promise, to show where I'm going. And then I realized, even if this thing doesn't grow the way I want it, I can see where I'm going. I can see how this thing is gonna turn out, and then I stuck to it. That's where I'm still stuck to, even now, today. So when I was 39, my business hit 999 days surviving. So when your business hits 999 days surviving, it means you have stood the test of time. There's a high chance of survival. Keep going. The moment you find yourself being on the 999th day, it means your business has survived. You just need to now nurture it, channel it correctly, and then it's going to grow. From there, you start working on growth, 999 days, then my business started to show a bit of growth here and there. Then things started to change. I started to pivot here and there, started to introduce a couple of new things. I introduced some websites. I introduced, a lot of things started to happen when I was 39. And then when I was 40, when I hit 40, you didn't know, né? Yeah, now you know that I hit 40. When I hit 40, I realized that my business, in 3 years, I have made over 2.3 million rands in revenue. Over 2.3 million rands. This is a small business. I started when I was fairly 36, and then 3.5 years later, I've made 2.3 million rands in revenue. I have managed to raise over 750K in funding. So the things that I talk about here is not things that I just grab from the sky. It's the things that I've worked, the things that I've experienced, the things that I've done, the things that I walked into and walked out, Yeah, so in a nutshell, those are my successes. I was just trying to summarize them in accordance with the age as I was growing, And you want to know how old I am? No, I won't kiss and tell. You will find out sometime. You'll find out, and not so long. You will find out. So before I close, check out this. I saw this. There's an advert for a new support program. We use these support programs to raise funds, ladies and gentlemen. We use the support programs that I always talk about. We use them to raise funds. So there's a new advert for GCIP South Africa. I was part of GCIP in 2025. You see that award, this award? Yeah, I was top 8 in the country for GCIP. I raised some funds as well. I'm still raising even now. I'm still raising seed funding for this project. I've got a couple of projects, and for this one, I'm still raising seed funding. There's an episode that I made about support programs. Go and learn about different types of funding or series of funding that you need to learn as an entrepreneur. Don't just be an entrepreneur who's working in the dark, Just go into Google and Google. I don't have the details of where you can access this application for GCIP South Africa. Just go into Google and check GCIP SA, and then it will give you the details, and you click on the links wherever, and then you see the call and you apply. They might call you. GCIP is a global clean tech innovation program. So it's basically about green technology, biogases, bio waste management, and all that. Yeah, apply and get yourself out there and start building your things. So that is that about my successes. At least you know where I came from. At least you know that I've been through the trenches. At least you know that I just touch based on these things, like the most important ones. I didn't deliberate on much. Like when I said I bought my first luxury car, there's many other cars that I bought, big and small, and I didn't mention. So I just used that moment to umbrella everything. So it's just one of the snippets or some of the snippets of my successes here and there in a summary form, because my video needs to run for about 35 minutes and then I close it. I don't want them to go beyond 35 minutes. So in a nutshell, now you have a picture of who this guy is and what this guy does. And if you want to be in contact with me, you can hit me up, use whatever channel or platform or whatever opportunity to meet so we can discuss whatever. If you need training, I can offer training for your people. Whatever you need, get in contact with me. We'll talk about it and then I'll assist you. You know? Yeah, so until then, I'll see you next week. Next week.